Hello. So I have an Unreal Engine multiplayer game that's being hosted on AWS, and I need help testing it. I'm using the lowest grade servers I can for cost right now, and I'm seeing how much they can take before we overload them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a download with my game, and you, if you want, you can help me try this out and see how much it can take. It's very simple download. It'll go to a repository where you'll get the download, click on the executable. It's pretty self-explanatory. When you're all said and done, you're going to have a little emblem icon like this. All you need to do is double click on it. Now, if nobody's been in the server in a while, and I don't expect there to be any people there or a whole lot of people, it may take a little while. Once you get to this screen, technically you're already onto the server. Your username is whatever you want it to be, as long as it hasn't been used, and your password is the same. You don't even have to have a password, but unless you want somebody walking around with your username, I would obviously put a password. Just remember it. I have an auto login system, but if for whatever reason you switch to a different computer or something like that, you'll need to have it. So basically, there's a copy saved locally. Anyway, I'm getting off track. So how this game works is it's a multiplayer. Right now, it's just a shooter. Okay, you run around, you find weapons, and you find other players. There's players and there are bots. So the one thing that's unique about what I've done is I've made a game mode called Constant Combat. And so there's no lobby. The lobby and the main game are merged into one. So if you want to actually have a match between somebody, you can just launch it from the main menu. It's very simple. You just press escape, you go to create match, and then you can set the details how you want them. If you want to have it a 10 kill thing, great. If you want bots off, whatever. So I'm just for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to make it a 1 kill match, and I'm going to take the bots off. So then you'll get a notification. It says, okay, get 1 human kill, bots are disabled, and it lets everybody know you don't like this game mode, no big problem. Once it's over, you can set it up with bots or something. Some people like them, some people don't. They can be overwhelming if there aren't enough humans in the game, I've found. If you have a group of 3 or 4 people, it's not a big deal. So anyway, if you press tab, you get all this stuff up here. Your match points are going to matter when you're actually in a match. Otherwise, they're just there tallying up, and they get reset at every match. The wins, those matter. Those are obviously how many wins you've had. Lifetime is how many humans you've killed in your entire character's lifetime. And bots, that's your bots and then your player. And when people get in here, you'll get more people in there, just like any other game. The controls I don't have set up so you can map them yet. I will eventually, but here they are for reference in case you don't know. But if you these can be pretty intense graphics, and so if they are too much, you can go into your graphics menu and you can set them. Very simple. So here's a great part about this. Since I am using cheap servers, they're probably going to crash. And it's, like I said, the first time you log in, you might get stuck, you might get hung up, you might have to do the old Control-Alt-Delete, just because that server actually winds up and starts if you're the first guy there, and sometimes it can get stuck. I can't really do a whole lot about that without spending about $100 a month on some awesome servers. I don't want to do that. This stuff is, like I said, I'm trying to see how, what sort of, until I start making money on any of this stuff, I need to set my budget here. So anyway, let's say you do get disconnected, and you can kind of simulate that. Let's say you're playing along and you got disconnected. What it'll do is it will automatically fire this back up again. And so you might get a black screen for a little bit, you might get a loading screen again, but if everything works right, like it just did, I think, maybe, there it goes. You notice I didn't have to sign it again. Okay, so it has a username, all that stuff is great. So basically, what am I trying to accomplish this? Well, first off, I'm trying to see how many people this thing can handle at once, how much going on it can handle at once, but I'm also looking for bugs, and there are bugs, man. That's just how it is, because really I'm trying to accomplish all the things of a team well, there's one guy. I'm one dude. All right. So I didn't do the art, but I did all the programming on the back end and all the multiplayer stuff. So there may be a situation that you find where, oh, I picked up the weapon, but it didn't appear, or I did this and this happened. I need to know that information, and I'm going to provide my email address, and I would like you to tell me if you discover a bug, what it is, and the key thing is, can you reproduce that bug over and over and over again? And if you can, write down the steps that you did to have that bug or make that bug, and then that way I can actually fix it, because there are a couple things. There's a couple bugs I'm working on right now where it's like I have no idea how that bug is happening, and once I can recreate it over and over, and then I can find out what the problem is, then it becomes evident, and that's why that's super important. And I do classify, I'm using a loose terminology here, bugs. There are things other than that I don't consider bugs, that are just things that I need to take my time and get out. So like, let's say you go over to a rock, and I know there's one of them over here, and you're like, your collision's weird on it, like you're going through the rock. I'd still like to know the location of that rock, but it's not like a major gameplay feature. Those are good to know. If you said, hey, near the castle, you know, on this area over here by the ramp, you know, take a screenshot or whatever, there's a weird, you know, rock with no collision on it, I can walk through it. Great. Okay, I'll fix that. But the biggies are, you know, every time I crouch and then stand up, I'm stuck in the ground. You know, something like that. I had a bug like that. So anyway, you guys would be helping me out a lot. And you might even have fun doing it. I don't know. It's I've been so far having my kids test it and other family members test it. But you could only get so far, you know, with that. Right, I need to actually demo this, and this will be a prototype for a real game that I'm going to develop. I'm going to take this code and throw it into an actual full-scale game, and obviously I'm going to need some more people to do that. But this will give me the initial start to know, hey, I can do this, and we're good to go. And by the way, this was all built off the tutorial series. In fact, the game, while it does say Peace Restored as the working title, if you go into the folder structure, you'll see that the project name is still Tutorial 1. So this was built on that tutorial series. So anyway, let's say you go through here and you're playing along and you're like, you know what, I don't like my player name, I want to change that, I want to change my client information, or for whatever reason, your save files aren't kept where you installed it, and I'll show you where they're at. So let me save and quit, and that'll save everything there. I'll put the path, actually it'd just be easier to bring over my guy right here. So I got my name, app data, local, like I said, tutorial 1, it's kept in that folder, save games, and in that folder you're gonna have your graphics settings, stuff the server doesn't need to know that, so I'm like, why bog down the server with extra information? And then in your client save slot, if you want to do, let's say, a new user, you simply delete that or take it out and save it, and then you'll be able to log back in as a brand new user, and it'll ask you through the for your information over again. So you'd come in here. Now, let's say, I don't remember my password. It'll give you the incorrect password. Well, and that's just so you know, not everybody's running around with the, you know, John Smith or whatever name you want to, everybody wants the same name. And it will remember your character, so you can go through here in the main menu. Everything so far is done through the main menu. You can select your character in here. I'm trying to think of what else you can do. So some of the rules, how they work, if you fall and die, it's suicide, you get a -1 point for that. You can get negative tallies. If you blow yourself up, you can get negative points. If the server has an error and crashes, and I have a specific one, you'll know it'll happen to you. It's a bug I'm working on where it says like because it'll give a display of how you were killed. It'll say so and so was killed by a grenade launcher. Well, if it says you were killed by a server error, that doesn't count against you. I've tried to make those so that would be really frustrating, right? You're trying to play and all of a sudden you get blown up by whatever. So anyway, that's the thing. If you guys would help me out by testing that, that'd be great. I'll probably be on I usually get on at around 6 p.m. 6 p.m. It would be Central United States time. So I don't know. Yeah, you had to do that calculation in the United States Central time about 6 p.m. I'll usually be, home from work, all that sort of stuff, and be on here. And I'll just hop in. I'll keep the Luttrell username so you know it's me. And if I can just get 10 people in here, that would be fantastic. And just see how, because I didn't put a real restriction on how many, maybe I did, maybe I put like 50, but I would be really surprised if these cheap servers could handle that many people. That being said, I was just doing a session with like, I don't know, 5 people, and the thing wasn't really breathing hard. So I don't know if I'm just getting bad information or if these AWS servers are really freaking good. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know if it works. Now, there are certain weird things that can happen. And let me give you an example of one of them. So let's say I'm going to simulate this. I'm going to... Hopefully I don't break something. I'm trying to unplug my Ethernet. Okay, so let's say you don't have a connection. What you'll do is you'll get this guy, and he'll just be like falling through space. Here he is. And then a message will come up, hey, you're not gonna... This could sometimes happen in the middle of the game. This is how you know if you've been disconnected. You're just falling through space. Give it some time. And if I were to plug this back in, it should hook back up no problem. But I probably can't find it now because it's dark in here. But anyway, yeah, I got a quit button in here. And you can get out of it. Hopefully, yeah, just like that, no problem. The only time, there's a few things I need to add, like at the login screen, I need to add a quit button. I don't have a quit button in there, so, but you can get out of it very easy. You could type in any old name you want, Joe, whatever, as long as nobody has it, and sign in and then hit it, exit. But little things like that I gotta add to it to, make it a little bit more professional. But yeah, once those are cleared up, we'll be good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment below if you like the game or like the video. Just give a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And as soon as I get this thing wrapped up, we can get these tutorials go on. Oh yeah, and that reminds me, are you guys interested in maybe doing C++ or maintaining blueprints, or I don't know, you just let me know. Thanks.